haters gonna be sipping what you make it, da. You heard we're gonna stay more aware than ever. We're building our permits, 2025 permits, da. We stay in more knowledge than never, da. You heard? God chose you because he knew he could trust you. God's best kept secret, da. When the elevator, who's elevated, God's elevated, da. So you marked it, we gonna spark it. If you ping it, we gonna sting it. If you drop the low, we gonna flock this low. You hurt, you tagged it, so we bring it to static. Hyenas, you hurt. So yeah. The Diddy trial breakdown, GG. Sean G says that the Diddy trial, that Diddy got a good chance of being his trial, GG. You know what I'm saying? That Diddy got a good chance of being his trial, that the defense, that the prosecutor team is mediocre. That's what he claims. He claims the prosecution team is mediocre, GG. That's different right there. How the hell the prosecution? He got a $10 million. He got a $10 million law team. You mean to tell me that the prosecution don't got a law team, GG? That's what you mean to tell me, da. All right. So let's see what we got going on. Do people actually feel like Diddy's about to win this case, and is that real facts? Everybody who's saying, yo, Diddy's gonna win the case, is that real facts? Can we believe what they saying, They up there, at the law team, they up there. So, but can we believe that? Can we actually believe that? Say it different.
Court TV, Entertainment Tonight, TMZ. I'm giving a whole nother report than what they saying. I'm gonna tell it like it is, man. Homeboy got a chance to beat this. When this first came down,
he said, yo, homie got a chance to beat this. What? That ain't different. Diddy's about to come home? Diddy's on his way home, GG's? That shit different. So Sean G, he's on his free Diddy campaign. He's saying Diddy's about to come home. They don't really got evidence on him. The whole mediocre team. That shit. That team. The federal system. Don't got a real prosecution team. Or maybe the charges is flaky. But this is all coming from Sean G. This is what Sean G claims. You know what I'm saying? So Sean G is saying that Diddy Diddy might just come out alive, and they can't prove that it was a RICO. There's no way in hell that they're gonna prove that it was a RICO, because there's nothing that stands for a RICO in the case, GG. You know what I'm saying?
And then ultimately, in the end, the Kim Porter manuscript or memoir doesn't exist either. It was fabricated also. So that was now fabricated. And in that, it talks about these tapes. It talks about these relationships with these young artists. And the truth is, and keep in mind, it's the same guy who publishes that's also trying to sell the tapes. So it turns out all of that's fake. All of that was fabricated. And that same guy, the guy that I believe wrote that manuscript, he has never said he did, but I mean, everything says he did. He was actually called.
So everything that you heard about him, everything that you actually heard about the Diddy, all this Diddy shit, all this Diddy slander and this and that is fake. That's what he said. That's what Matthew Cox just said. It's fake. It's a fake situation. I mean, this was coming out this dude's mouth. You know what I'm saying? So.
Called in front of the grand jury to talk about it for Diddy. And then they called him a second time, but by the second time they called him, he wouldn't go. He wouldn't go because now the government knows these things don't exist. And his lawyer said, no, you can't go. Because now the lawyer knows they don't exist. And the lawyer is thinking, They get you in front of there now, they're going to get you lying to a federal grand jury. You're going to get arrested. So he doesn't go. But that's how kind of these rumors get started, where it's, you know, and I'm not saying that, you know, that Diddy's a great guy or anything. He's clearly, you know, got some major issues, you know, but some of the allegations that are overly outrageous, you know, who knows? You just don't know. You know, so that's, I'm just saying that to kind of give a little bit of a context to the, you know, it seemed like in the media, like poor Cassie was dating this guy and he was just a monster to her, and she was being manipulated. She was an unwilling participant and she didn't want anything to do with any of this. And he was, you know, but that's not what you're saying is coming out.
Yo, that's a great way for you to open up this segment, man, because everything that you said, I don't know the specifics about what you said with these tapes.
Right.
You saying that is my, but Matt, what I thought, man, when they showed the videotape of him assaulting Cassie, right now, Puff is guilty of assault.
Yeah.
Puff is guilty of domestic violence, right? He's guilty of battery, 1000%, because we can see it on the tape. What I didn't know and what they didn't disclose is that's actually a 6-minute tape where in that same scene, they're sitting there talking to each other before he gets violent with her, right? After he assaults her, and then the security dude comes up, Cassie says, he asked Cassie, do you want to leave? She said, yeah. Puff, she ain't going nowhere. The security guy said, yes, she is. She's leaving. So the security guy let her dip. She jumps in an Uber, goes to her crib by her friend. Her best friend is there. Her best friend sees her, calls the 5-0, calls the cops. The cops come.
What is Sean G saying, the Dada? Like, what is this dude saying, the Dada? We gotta point out the obvious, the Dada. Like, this dude been up there, the Dada, and he been talking to certain people, whatever the case may be, the Dada. Like, what is this dude actually saying? Is this dude actually saying facts? Is he actually stating the facts, the Dada? Is this what happened, the Dada? Is them situations not really being used in the case, the Dada? Like, what? Like, because there's transcripts. There's always transcripts, GG.
Come over to Cassie's crib. They come in. Her best friend says,
knowledge care for the dude, the Dada.
I'm here, fellas. I'm here, man. I just want to break down some of these, these guys, what they're saying and the acknowledgement that they don't have with what they're saying. Not, because it's easy to mislead some people that don't know about the factors of this case. Like, you could go in a courtroom and you can listen to a trial all day, all you want. You can listen to a trial all day. You can sit there for days and weeks at a time. But if you don't know the charges and the statutes within the charges that they're facing, all you're doing is listening to some language, because you don't even know if that testimony fits the factors of these charges, because you don't know the factors of the charges that they're facing. Everybody's saying, I don't see racketeering. I don't see this. I don't see sex trafficking. I don't see that. Ask them what statutes or what's the standards of those statutes. What do they stand for? These guys that's on this podcast that we have up here that are talking do not understand that. They're just going off of what they're listening to in the courtroom. Sean G is going off of what he's listening to in the courtroom instead of looking at the statutes up under the codes, the penal codes of what he's being charged for. He's saying, oh, I don't see it from the testimony. Bruh, from
the paperwork, he's trying to say.
Right, no, okay, I want to say this. First of all, when the witnesses get up there and testify, right? Do we really think that they use every piece of each person's testimony. They don't. They use the relevancy of the testimony that fits the nature of the crimes. That's what they use. So if you haven't studied federal law as I have, being that I had a federal case and I studied federal law and I fought my case, up until I was held where I couldn't go no further because I had the people who was telling on me, and I pled guilty at this, at the end of the trial hearing.
What's up, Elder? What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on? Peace and love. I want to say this because you have people that are misleading people without even knowing that they're misleading them because they're not giving all of the facts within the case. If you don't know the statutes of what someone is facing and you're only listening to a witness talk about the naming of it, like RICO, if you don't know the statute of what RICO stands for, how do you know what they're saying is not RICO? I don't see RICO, but you don't even know the roles of a RICO. You don't know that all it takes to have a RICO you don't have to start it within your enterprise from the first day you open the business. No, the businesses no. All you have to do is be doing criminal acts with employees that you hired to work for your company first for 1 year and 1 day, and it'd be 3 or more people. You are included within those 3 people. That is a RICO. They can charge you with a RICO crime because of that.
So listen, so when people try to explain it, they try to go scriggly on the internet, on the Google, and then explain it like that when it's not even getting explained like that on this case, right?
I'm going to say this. Some people, right, they just listen to others. They don't go and look up the statute themselves and look at the factors of the statute.
So what do you got to say? So what you got to say to the people who saying that they think Diddy is winning the trial so far?
Well, I want to say this. I'm not going to say Diddy is losing this trial or winning this trial. What I'm going to say is the government ain't nothing to fuck with, man. And I want people to understand that. The government, I've seen thousands of people go to trial myself. And I've seen them look great in the beginning. And I've seen them in the final week come back in the cell, come back to the unit with their head between their ass with life. After they was looking great for 6 days, 7 days. They come back.
So what's your percent? All right, what are you leaning for more than that? What do you think? Diddy's going to be found guilty or not guilty of the federal charges that he got? Like,
okay, I'm gonna break it down to you. I'm gonna break it down to you why he will be found guilty, and I'm gonna break this down to you.
So far, no, wait. Talking about like so far, he'll be found guilty by the end.
Even listen, he's going to be found guilty. Now, which roles are he going to be found guilty for? This is what the people are not breaking down. These guys like Sean G and this other guy Matthew, whoever, they found physical evidence in Puffy's house. He cannot beat that.
All right, so the case stops right now. Who wins?
If the case stops right now, and let's say he beats all the major factors, RICO and sex trafficking and all of that, he still has to fight the physical evidence that they found in his home, which is not legal. The drugs inside the shoes, the gun, the broken down gun, the part that was partial, whatever else they found a handgun inside his house.
But Diddy ain't no convicted felon, so that shit might be time served.
Wait. We're not talking about how much time he's gonna get and all that shit. We're talking about is he gonna win trial? This is what people don't understand. When he loses trial to these mitigating factors as far as the drugs and all that in his house, you know what it's gonna say when you look in the law books, look up his name? Sean P. Diddy Combs lost trial on this date. They ain't gonna say why he lost it.
Yeah, it's lost. He lost.
In the book, it will say why he lost.
So what is the strategy for Diddy's a defense team, you think? Like, how they gonna get him?
I'm gonna say this. If Diddy get 5 years or less, shit, he won this trial. But in the government, and far as standard book-wise and governmental-wise, he lost. But if he gets 5 years or 7 years or 10 years out of this shit, he won.
That's the same thing with Thug. They say Thug beat a RICO and he got 15 years probation. So I guess he beat it.
Thug didn't beat no RICO. Thug didn't beat no RICO. Thug did the dumbest shit ever. All all his co-defendants that went to trial walked away with nothing. Why would you allow somebody to tell you to plead guilty to something where you could have walked away also?
Doug said he beat the Rico. He got it on his rap song.
All right, so if
He
Diddy
didn't beat
is
no Rico.
convicted, so you saying Diddy's gonna be convicted? If he is convicted, is there any chance that he could come home, like reduce sentence or something like that?
Well, I want to say this. I'm not saying he's going to be convicted for Rico or sex trafficking or none of that, because I don't.
Yeah, not.
What I'm saying is this: he's going to be found guilty for the physical evidence that the government has found.
Yes,
that's the point. Now, let's say this: if he gets found guilty for one of those major acts, right? Sex trafficking or money, Rico, or whatever the case may be, he's going to get an enhancement for the physical evidence that they found. So if he pleads guilty to 15 years, it's a possibility he will end up with 25 years because they're going to give him 2-point enhancement for everything they found in that house. Gun and drugs.
So Sanji is discrediting all the witnesses and everything that just happened to go up there right now. You can't take offense. Like, that's why he discredited them. They're not really witnesses.
Okay, I want to say something about that he's not giving the factors on either. When the witness is on the stand, they don't use every piece of wording that the witness said. They use the pieces that fit the role within the statutes of the crime that they're charging you with. And they have several witnesses go up there. Whatever fits the roles of what they're talking about is what they use, is what they present to the jury. They don't present all that shit. Like, people got it misconstrued. That's what I'm saying. These guys are going on the internet and giving, I don't even want to say falsified, because they're giving information that's being said, but they're not giving the statutes of the information, the defined format of it. Meaning that in order for Puffy to be found guilty of this stuff, what the witnesses are saying has to fit the statutes of the crime that he's charged with. You're not saying that, Shanji. You're saying that you don't believe he's found guilty of this and Rico and this and that and third, when you don't even know what Rico stands for. You don't even know the statute of a Rico charge. You haven't even read that. You're going off of what everybody else is saying. Everybody else is saying, even in the courtroom. I can sit in the courtroom all day, right, and listen to a trial. If I don't understand the statutes that them people, that man or that woman is facing in that trial, I'm just sitting there listening to testimony. I don't know the actual statutes of what they're facing. Yeah, the statute could be Rico, but what are the litigations under Rico that's being faced? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know what Rico stands for.
I don't
know what Rico stands for. So I'm just sitting here saying, oh, I don't feel like they could do this because of Rico. I don't feel like they could do that because of Rico. If I don't know what Rico stands for, I can't say that. I just broke down to y'all in the beginning of this what Rico is.
Yeah.
Now, if you go look at the factors in this case and look at some of the things that the witnesses have said.
So what you're saying is Sean G has a different understanding of it, and he's explaining it to the world wrong.
Okay, I'm gonna break down something with Sean G that the world and the internet needs to understand. Sean G did not fight a federal case. Sean G got 16 months for white collar crime, which he went in there and pled guilty. They gave him his time. He went to Morganville or wherever the fuck he went to with no fence around it, and he did his time. Yes, he knows who told on him and all that shit because they told before the case started. That's nothing. He has a white collar crime. He's never studied no federal law as I have. I fought a case. It's a difference.
Okay.
So
the Kid Cudi, what do you think the Kid Cudi statement about the Molotov and the car and shit like that, would that create
that's garbage? Because as they said in this segment here, that you can't throw away the physical evidence as far as the card and say that nobody saw Diddy there. Nobody saw Diddy at that shit. And now you're saying that it was a female's DNA was on it, and then you're saying that the cards that would show that they destroyed, the LAPD destroyed it. So you can't charge somebody with something like that. Now, see, those are the kind of factors that you can talk about, because you don't need to know statute to talk about that, because it's being said right here. We all know that in penal law, you have to have the facts of what you're speaking on. The government and the LAPD don't have the facts to put that man in that place saying he threw a cocktail in that car, because the glass that they found has a female's DNA on it, and they don't have the flashcards with the litigation of the fingerprints on it. They don't have that. So they can't use that. Yeah, they're going to talk about it, because one thing about the government, if they feel they're losing, they take something called pop shots. They just throw some shit out there, and it's up to the judge to say if it's good or not. It could be a line or something. Who knows? But the government do that if they feel like they slipping. So,
Yeah.
you know.
So that's what kind of move Kid Cudi was. Kid Cudi was just ready
I
to
don't
keep
even
adding
know.
on
Listen,
to it.
I don't even know if they're gonna use his testimony, because he ain't say shit.
All right. How much time will Diddy get? How much time would Diddy get if he's found guilty of any other charges? Not any other charges, but the charges that you feel like he will get charged with, because you feel like he's not going to get the RICO.
All right, I'm gonna say this: if he gets charged with just the gun and the little bit of drugs they found there, he might get 5 years, 7 years. He don't got no record. Now, I'm gonna say this to y'all: if he gets found in one count of sex trafficking or RICO law or whatever, with those mitigating factors of the case, meaning the physical evidence plus he could get 30 years or more.
Man, that shit gonna be crazy.
Because he's gonna get enhanced
history.
for all of those. They won't now they won't. He's not indicted. Remember, he's not indicted for the drugs and the gun and all that shit. So those are enhancements once you're found guilty for whatever you're found guilty for. Now, being that they found this physical evidence, he has to be charged for it. So even if he beats the other charges, he's still going to jail for having drugs and guns in his bedroom closet. Now, he didn't find it anywhere. He found it in his bedroom closet.
Yeah.
So he can't say it was found somewhere else in the house and other people be there and all that shit.
So Diddy, so you're saying that the witnesses ain't really hold up in the cross-examination?
Well, I want to say this. I'm not going to say the witnesses didn't hold up. I'm going to say the defense team.
What's up, Friday?
The defense team's cross-examination was great within certain individuals on this that was testifying. Now, that doesn't mean that.
Hold on, Friday. Hold on.
Yeah, my head up in here real quick.
Hold on, Friday. Hold on. Let Kev finish explaining what he's doing. Hold up.
Now, you like. Yeah, he motherfucker done threw my chain of thought off. What we were talking about?
Examination.
The defense team is doing a great job at cross-examining these witnesses, right? Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Now, yet and still, even though they're pointing out certain factors about people telling lies on certain parts of the testimony, there are still certain parts of that testimony that the government feels is true. So they pushed it anyway.
Yeah.
For every witness. Now, this is what people will understand the difference in perjury. Perjury is flat out lying.
Yeah.
Now, to misscrew a word on a trial is not perjury. And that's what Sean G and them don't understand. To misscrew a time or a act, say, he threw the pot, or he put the pot on the stove, or he picked the pot up and he with the eggs in it and he did this. The moral of the story is he picked up the pot with the eggs and he somehow did something with the pot with the eggs. You're not committing perjury if you misconcept what he did with it. That's not perjury. Perjury is getting up there flat out lying. And we have to understand how we get on here and tell people that the government, that the defense team is catching these people in lies. Those are not considered lies, man. They just didn't understand. They just didn't word it right within the situation. Now, if Cassie agreed to, if some of these factors that they're talking about with other witnesses.
Yeah.
If Cassidy said the same thing or similar thing, how is it a lie? This is what people don't understand, that don't know penal law. They just going off of what it seems to them.
So did he plead not guilty across the board, and
everybody pleads not guilty in the beginning. There's not a
yeah,
person that walks
and he
in the federal
rejected,
court
and
and guilty.
he rejected the plea deal, How do you feel that did he did he do the right thing, or you feel like he could have had?
All right, I'm gonna break down why he rejected the plea deal. If he pleads guilty to that, right? Like I said, people think, oh, they offer you that with something else to go with it. They don't tell you that something else. They're not gonna tell the public there's something else they had with it. Like they might would have wanted him to plead guilty to 5 years, and everybody talking about, damn, why he didn't plead guilty to 5 years? Let me explain to you. They might have wanted him to plead guilty to 5 years and then take all of his assets along with it, saying that he did RICO, and because you plead guilty to your indictment. That you fall in that indictment, when you plead guilty, you plead guilty to that. Now those come with other factors, and those are the factors that they don't tell the public.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? People don't understand that. They don't just.
So what if Diddy went in, everybody, like, his team and everybody know that before all this even much got to where, he turned down a plea. What if that's all Diddy is facing, period? Why he must turn down the plea is a little bitty time, and the person, and everybody don't even fucking know it. Like, what if he not even facing that much time?
Listen, with those charges he got, he ain't just facing a little bit of time. Did you see the charge? That's what I mean about studying charges. You have to understand what the charge and the statute of the charge is, and how much time it holds to get up there and do moderation like Sean G and them is doing. They're not doing that though. They're just getting up here saying, yo, I don't feel that that this is this, and I don't feel that that's that, and because I feel like you don't even know the fucking statutes of the charge. You just getting up here saying what you don't see or what you don't feel. You can't say that if you don't know what he's facing.
So you saying right now the correction of what you're saying right now is that they are proving their burden right now against Diddy. That's what you're saying, because Sean G's saying they not. So you're saying that the capitalization
I'm not saying they are. What I'm saying is Sean G doesn't know what he's talking about because Sean G hasn't studied the statutes. I'm not saying that they are.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Okay.
Right.
We're
I'm
not
not
even
debating
there. Okay.
if they found. Listen, now I'm gonna break down something for y'all. Now, this is allegedly. I'm not saying Diddy did this, but I'm gonna break down what can be charged as a RICO. Listen to me. I hire you and Rizzy to work under my company. I hired you to work under my company. Your check says my company's name, not my name. Now, listen. We didn't do no criminal activity in the beginning of me opening all these enterprises and me owning all of this shit. But now, I hire y'all. Now I got so comfortable with y'all. I got personal issues that's criminal activity, and I have y'all start going with me to do these criminal acts, right? And we do these criminal acts for more than 1 year and 1 day as 3 or more people under an enterprise umbrella, because I own several businesses. Remember, your check does not say Kevin Currents. It says whatever business I own, that's who's paying you. So now you're being paid by my enterprise. We're doing criminal activity, and for longer than 1 year and 1 day, and the feds come and bust us. They could charge us with a RICO Act for that.
That's a lot of situations going on.
And this is what people are not realizing, because they haven't studied the penal codes and the penal laws of what RICO stands for. They're just saying that, oh, they can't do that. He wasn't a mobster.
So you saying Sean G don't know what he's talking about? Like, Sean G ain't.
I'm saying that he doesn't understand the statutes of what he's talking about, so he can't know. If all he's gonna do is get up here and say what he's witnessed or what he's listened to in court and what the defense team did to the witnesses in court, without having the knowledge of the standard of the charges that this man is facing, he doesn't know. Like, I considered a trial for 9 years. if I don't know the actual standards of the statutes, meaning that what they hold, how much time they hold, what's the roles within it to make me guilty, make the person guilty or not guilty of this statute, how can I say that they ain't proven that if I ain't done it?
What does he gain? What does he gain for being like, for saying that Diddy should be free, or saying that he's looking at like Diddy? You like what type, like what do you think he's trying to gain from that? Like,
I put it this way. I'm gonna tell you what happened with him. He did the Big Meech thing, right?
yeah,
And it worked for him. Like he got a lot of views and all that shit off of that. It worked for him, worked good for him. Now Puffy came out. I just did something like this. Rather, if I was felt to be right or wrong, and what I did, I gained several thousand, 100,000 views from what I did. Now, this is an even bigger situation.
yeah. Right.
So now I'm going to go to the court. All of the mistakes I made within the Big Meech situation, I'm going to fix them right now. Because now I know what mistakes I made because I did it and I watched it and I watched my own content and I watched people comment on what I did wrong and how I did it, and me saying something about somebody that I don't know to be true. I'm just going off of what somebody told me that knew somebody else and all that. So now he's trying to correct. He's not trying to. He's correcting his bad, configuration. Now he's also slipping again because he's calling out things. And he doesn't know from within the numbers of he don't even know the actual numbers to what a RICO is. He doesn't know that.
So do you feel like a lot of people saying that Diddy can be? He says, Shanji says he could be found not guilty. That Diddy's could be found at a high percentage. He could be found not guilty. Some people said Hitler has a worse chance. A better chance of getting found not guilty. Whatever that means.
I'm gonna say this right now. I just explained to you why Diddy's not beating this case. He's not going to beat this case because of the physical evidence that they found. Let me tell you something right now. All right, I'm gonna tell you this. A dude don't get caught with nothing. He just got a bunch of people. They telling on him. The feds watch some people sell these drugs over here. The bunch of dudes telling them they got ghost dope. They ain't got nothing. They ain't got ghost dope. They ain't got nothing. They got ghost dope. They ain't got nothing. He go to court. He actually can beat that. It's hard. To beat that will be really hard because it's ghost dope. Now, the physical evidence that they find is what they will use. If they find physical evidence, let me say this. Let me say it again. Let me say it another way. I said it wrong. Okay. You got on a case, right? You got a bunch of dudes saying that I sold them 25 keys of dope, or crack, and dope, or whatever. But when they come to get me, they find some paraphernalia, whatever. They might find 20 grams or whatever. What those dudes said that they had is no longer foreseeable because they have physical evidence. Once they have physical evidence, them dudes can't get up there and say, yo, and 2 years ago he sold me this, or he sold me this for 3 years. Nah. They ain't going to use that because they have physical mounted evidence that they found on you. They don't even care about that really no more. They use ghost dope when they feel they got ice and they couldn't find it. Now I'm gonna jam you because now they got all these witnesses to say you sold them this, that, and the third. They wouldn't even use them motherfuckers if they found physical evidence. When they find physical evidence, boom, they send it to the lab. You get a lab report. The lab report annihilation comes back of the purity of it. Boom, they sentence you like that.
So is Diddy kids showing up to support him? Is it helping? You feel like it's helping the case, or
nah? I mean, that don't have nothing to do with this case. What's going on in this case? If nobody came, it wouldn't matter. They don't really like. They ain't looking at that.
I hear what you saying. Why don't more celebrities show up?
Because I'm gonna say this right here. Why would a celebrity show up and tarnish his name with what the allegations that this guy is facing. Nobody wants to be his friend if my business is acquainted with all of these iconic people in certain businesses. This guy is the feds have tarnished his whole name. Period. Everything about him. So nobody can, even if they're helping him behind the scenes, which I believe some people are, you can't be out in the forefront with it. Even if he's found not guilty, he'll never be the same again in his life. He'll never be, you won't see him no more.
Yeah.
As Sean G is trying to say in this segment, that if Kanye West made an album with Diddy, it would go 12 times platinum if he came home from prison. What Sean G don't know is white people and women buy music. Not Pistol and Jermaine in the hood. They don't buy no music.
Yeah.
So those are the people that like the music, that do the dances and all that shit, but they don't buy that shit. So that's what I'm trying to say. People are looking at things in the wrong capacity, man.
So is celebrities actually on Diddy's side? You think they on deep down inside? Are they just clapping like, yo, we got him off our back?
I'm gonna say this. I don't want to say think, because I haven't seen no celebrities talking about this shit.
I mean, that's having his backside. If you're quiet about it, you're like, yo, we ain't speaking upon it. Hell no, fuck that. We stay away from the Diddy situation, GG. You know
but that don't mean that's not having his back. You just don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
you don't want to be. You don't want nothing to do with it. That's not being for him or against him. You just don't want nothing to do with it. And every celebrity right now is on that plane, because you don't want to lose the publicity and the money and the earnings that you got coming in every day.
So the celebrities who are quiet, they can't say that they had his back.
I mean, you can't. Like I said, it's things that could be done without saying anything. You don't got to say nothing about something to do something.
Yeah.
50
got on free Diddy shirts on and shit.
50 going both ways with it. 50 wore a free Diddy shirt and then said he gonna call Trump and tell Trump what Diddy said about him, so he won't pardon him if he loses. So you know, it's a whole different. You know, 50's just a troller, fun making dude. He ain't, he ain't on no. I don't think 50 be on bullshit like everybody else be saying.
Trump say he might look into it. The dollar.
I mean, of course, Trump is he's a different type of person, man.
Niggas don't know what Diddy's in charge with, the dollar. Did he do it or he didn't do it?
Nobody can answer that, bro. He's on trial for that right now. Nobody can say if he did it or not. You ain't even halfway through the trial. You gotta wait till it's over.
They definitely
but
are.
But you will get somebody to come up here and say, or come on the comments or on somebody else's page and say, yeah, he's guilty. Yeah. Mainly women. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Women are going to say, because of what they saw in that video, that he's totally guilty from what has been painted of him and what they've heard on the stand, and he's totally guilty because they saw him kick her and stomp her and all that.
I feel like guess what? A lot of women that have low experience with even much surviving in life. Yeah, but when I say I know a lot of women that they said that if that man would have did that, they would have fucked his ass up. So many women said, boy, he got lucky. He had the right one to do it to. Because a lot of women did his ass with a big got fucked up. Got fucked his ass up.
They wouldn't have did nothing. They'd have stayed there like she did and did exactly what she did. That man had too much power.
I'm saying what they said in the comments and stuff. A lot of women had.
I'm reading their comments. They ain't living it. That's the difference between living something and saying something. If you live in something, listen to me. I'm gonna use this scenario. All right, we out somewhere. Me, you, Rizzy, a bunch of other motherfuckers. A motherfucker say something to you, right? Or to me. A motherfucker say something to me. And y'all say, man, fuck that. If that was me, I would have did this and I would have did that and I would have did that. But I didn't feel it was disrespectful to me, so I let it go. I just walked away. That's what's going on with this shit. Same thing. They saying, yeah, if he would have did that shit to me, I would have fucked him up. I would have stabbed him. I would have busted him in the head. Know why they saying that? They haven't seen how much power he really has. They haven't seen all of that. They don't know nothing about all of that. They looking at him as a regular pedestrian man that they met on the street and liked, and then he took him home and did this shit to them. That's not who he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So you can't listen to regular women just out there just talking. Just like you can't listen to people like Sean G just saying anything out his mouth without knowing the whole factors of what's going on.
Yeah, back to Sean G. Hey, play a little bit, like, cause I want to get up to date, cause I didn't really.
Yeah. Play a little bit. We'll stop
Can-
it as we need to.
Can this trial be can Diddy rig this trial?
Nah. It's the government. You ain't rigging shit.
They roughed her up, pushed up, the LAPD pushed up against the wall, asked her for her driver's license. She gave it. They asked Cassie for her driver's license. She wouldn't give it to him. And they asked Cassie, what happened to you? And the best friend is saying, tell him what happened. And she was like, nah, I ain't got nothing to say. So she doesn't rat on Puff.
Mhm.
Then later on that night, right, she go back by Puff's crib.
You need three 'cause she layers
Different than that. So she a situation, you know what I'm saying? She had help right there. She had help right there, GG. And she needed it.
Right? Either back to the hotel to his crib, and then they go to her movie premiere together. Right? That was the dates are either March the 5th or March the 6th. I thought I heard it in the courtroom that all this happened on the same day in terms of the assault and then them going out together the same night.
Right here for a minute.
Or it might have even been the next day. But the point is that when they
what
first started.
Go ahead.
Now, he said that the witness said that Cassie was
I feel
saving
you, James.
Puff.
I feel you.
That
What?
Cassie was saving Puff because she didn't tell on him to the NYPD, or I mean the LAPD, right? But there's another girl who's on the stand that's saying that he did this to her, and she was so afraid of him that she wouldn't tell on him. What this guy doesn't understand is that's terrible for the jurors to hear. He think that it's something good for Puff behind that. No, it ain't. It's terrible for the jurors to hear that he's a monster, what they're trying to paint him as. She was scared to tell on him because there was repercussions behind it. If you look at the way the terms of how they putting it. So how does that favor him? That's what I mean about people not knowing penal law and how it goes. It don't go like that in the trial. What you look to how you look to the jury and the statutes of the standards of the charges, if any of that shit fits it, they're gonna find your ass guilty in the federal system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Power.
that's what he's
It was
failing to
showing
realize
power.
of what he just said.
He was showing his power. He had that kind of, like, that
Yeah.
type of power to
He's
make
showing
somebody
the
afraid
power
of him.
to manipulate not just her or the girls. You're talking about hundreds of people that work for him. He's showing he's doing everything with fear. This is what I mean. Go ahead. Let's keep going now. Let's keep going. I'll break it down as we go.
All right.
Start talking about this Cassie thing, man. I thought he had Cassie tied up in the basement, chained up to the hot water heater, and just was like denying her food and this, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't nothing like that, man. The prosecution, Cassie was the prosecution's witness, and they put up all of these text messages, man, dating back to 07, 08, 09, and Cassie and Puffy text each other from the time they both wake up to the time they both go to sleep. I love you. I miss you. You know what I'm saying? And Cassie was on the stand, and they were in love, man. You know what I'm saying? And it just made me rethink, and I have to rethink everything that these news houses say now because they engage in selective reporting, right? They only.
All right, we understand that they was in love, but what about the mom putting the loan in?
I want to say this to you, where he's totally wrong about what he's saying. being in love with someone, right, doesn't take away the factors that they did wrong to you. And I want to say something about Cassie being on the stand. This is what these people fail to realize. Cassie got put on the stand, right, to tell the truths about freak-offs happening and to paint the picture of him being a monster. What the government is doing with Cassie as a star witness is this. Cassie gets up here, paints the picture, and tells all the truths about everything that goes on. We can't really. No one's gonna feel as if he's so wrong because Cassie was his girlfriend. So nobody but women is gonna feel that he did so wrong. Now this happens when another woman get on the stand and say similar things that Cassie said, that he did that to them. Now he's a sex trafficker. Now he's a monster. Now he's in the RICO. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is what these people fail to realize. Cassie was only there to set the standards and to paint the picture on the truths of what was really going on within. He really committed these kind of acts, not on with her. Now, we can't paint him that guilty with her because that was his girlfriend. And she participated in shit. She called the escort. She did all of that. Let another woman get up there and say that he flew in from somewhere else, that he had somebody to go to the airport and get, that he hired to go to a hotel room, and then he hired an escort to come there and fuck them and all of that. That's where it gets ugly at. And it's gotten ugly already. But these people are failing to realize, because a certain part of a witness's testimony has been eaten up by the cross-examination, there's still a part of that testimony that's still livid and live, that the prosecution and the prosecution and the jurors are going to eat up, like going to people's homes with security and taking people out their home and putting them in the back of a truck, sitting in with you in the back of the truck with your gun on your lap. That's kidnapping somebody. This is what people are failing to realize. Oh yes, the cross-examination from his legal team went up there and said some things that really mitigated what the girl was saying about certain other parts. But what about that part?
So he kidnapped somebody and they don't quote a law.
No, I just use it as a figure of speech.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he kidnapped anybody. I'm saying how the
Allegedly.
government do things.
Yeah, allegedly.
What I'm saying to you is this. All of someone's testimony, they don't use the whole thing. They use the part that fits the roles of the guilt.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the rest of that shit is just bubblegum talk.
Yeah.
And this is what people like him are failing to realize. You getting up here and you talking about what you're watching a witness say and all of that without understanding what the factors of it is.
So in closing arguments, we're gonna hear all the stuff they really grab.
In closing arguments, the government and the defense team, they're gonna come out firing.
Yeah.
Whoever got the hottest fire, gonna win.
James got a question.
Okay.
How much time do you guys think, just going off what you know about the justice system?
James, I can't give you a time frame because I don't know what he will be found guilty for. But if he only now I'm gonna say this: if he only gets found guilty for the physical evidence that they found, he won't get no more than 6 years. If he beats everything else, all other allegations, and he only gets found guilty of the serial numbers written off of it, along with the drugs, because guns are found with drugs is a violent crime, and that's what people fail to realize. They consider it as a violent crime. The reason why his time would be so light is because he don't have a record and there will be no enhancements. Now, let me say this. If he's found guilty of just one count of one of those major charges, RICO or sex trafficking or whatever else, just one count. He beats everything else, going to got found count for one count, one of those major charges. He's going to get over 30 years due to enhancements for whatever, all the physical evidence and all that shit, and the relevancy of the cases. He's going to get enhancements for each part of that, mitigating roles and shit like that. So this is what people fail to realize of how the feds work. You know, feds don't work like these guys are up here talking, man. Like they just saying things because they're in a courtroom and they read and they listen to people talk and they using what the people are saying against the witnesses because he's very biased. If you notice something, he talks real great about what Puffy's lawyers are doing. He doesn't say anything about what the prosecution is pushing these witnesses to say. Now, Puffy's lawyers haven't won every argument in this case, no. But if you look at Sean G and you look at what he says, he's telling you they won every argument with every defendant, with every witness on the stand. The defense team has destroyed them. That's a lie.
Do you feel like he just like when he just looking at Puffy's team, so he just feels like they better? He's like, oh shit, folks with these.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Like shit.
I'm gonna tell you what he feels is better. When we get to the end of this thing, he gonna say, yo, man, I'm gonna try to make it up there in the courtroom one day, man, in the actual courtroom where he is, because I want to meet Puffy, man. I'm gonna look him in his eyes, man. What is that? I'm just asking a question. I'm not saying, I'm asking a question.
Nigga, Sanji will go to a party quick. No,
I'm just asking a question. I want you and Peace and Love to answer it.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of this podcast, he's gonna say, yo, man, I gotta see Puffy, man. I gotta see him. I gotta look him in his eyes, man. I gotta let him know I gotta see him.
Yeah.
So what did he just tell you about how he feels about the case when he says, I gotta make sure
he probably were you trying to say he infatuated with Diddy?
He's being biased about the case. He's only talking about
and Cat said with the head and shit like that, they would have upgraded that shit.
If he listen, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. They offered him a plea, right? But what they won't tell the public is what the other factors in the plea deal was. Okay, let's say they offered him a plea for 5 years. But now they tell you, if you take this plea for 5 years, you're pleading guilty to your indictment. His indictment says RICO, sex trafficking, all of that shit, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Along with that, with a RICO case, they could take all of his assets from the time the RICO started to the time the RICO ended. So he's broke now. But they want me to take 5 years and be broke when I get out. That man ain't been broke in 40 years. He don't know what broke consists of no more. You forget about that shit when you've been unbroke longer than you have been. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, he was broke as a kid, dealing with whatever. But from the age of 23 to the age of 56, he's been rich.
Yeah.
He played. I mean, what side of it matters more? Not the broke side. He don't remember that shit no more. He hasn't been broke in more than half of his life.
Who did he?
Yeah.
Diddy never been broke. He went to fucking Harvard or whatever.
What do you mean he never been broke? Where the fuck you think he grew up at?
He grew up at Harlem, nigga, not with the thugs.
My sister went to Harvard, so you telling me I ain't never been broke? My sister graduated from Columbia University and Harvard, both of them.
I feel it, but his dad was a big time drug dealer. That fuck who they say Frank Lucas and shit like that.
What is that? Wait. Someone is telling you that. They're not showing you that.
I mean, it's facts. It's facts. So
listen, but what? Listen,
because that's how he died. That's how he died. He died because Frank Lucas, because he told on Frank Lucas. He was telling other people that Frank Lucas was a snitch. And that's why he actually died. He didn't die for snitching on a drug dealer. He died from telling other people that Frank Lucas is a snitch.
Okay, I want to say this. Do we have any proof that Puffy's dad or whoever it was, that's what I said, I don't want to turn into Sean G. We don't have no proof that Puffy's dad was rich or had money. We know that he was down with somebody who was getting money. That don't mean he had a lot of money.
Bro, we can't debunk the truth when it makes sense, bro. So this is what we elaborated on. That Puffy dad was a drug dealer, right? And he died. He's dead.
Right.
And he died for snitching. But they try to say that he snitched on a person, but he really didn't snitch on a person. He actually told people that Frank Lucas was an agent. That's what he was saying.
Okay, now I want to ask you a question, meaning that you're saying it, since you're saying true. All of that you just said, how much money did we depict that he have out of what you just said?
I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're
That's
saying.
all I'm saying.
No, I
That's
feel
all
what
I'm
you're saying.
saying.
I feel what you're saying, but you know what I'm saying? Puffy lived a good life. Puffy lived a good life.
Yeah, he lived a good life. He became rich, man. He's rich. He had money longer than he didn't have money. Just think about that.
No, look here. I'm trying to tell you this: that Puffy, before Puffy even had millions of dollars, Puffy didn't live like Biggie Smalls. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
How did Biggie Smalls live? I lived in the same neighborhood as Biggie Smalls.
All right, then. It was rough. It was rough. He was in the hood. He was outside, right down the corner. Puffy wasn't doing that. Puffy was doing what he was doing. He was in the books. He was what Clyde
Puffy
Davis,
lived in Harlem. What back then Harlem wasn't pleasant. Let's not go off of what we think. Puffy
lived. How you know? Puffy lived on the good side of Harlem, nigga.
What's the good side? What was
the good block? A good block.
What block was it?
Whatever the block was, the block he lived on.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So
the block he lived on.
We can't say that. You don't know what block he lived on.
Gene Deal said that Puffy came and started fucking with him after the fact. They used to chase him, slap him. That he lived on the good side. He always lived in a good neighborhood. That he used to come down and want to fuck with him. And that's
all right. So we're gonna say that.
That's how he tried to angle with
that part. Wait. We're gonna say that part of what Gene Deal says is true. We're going to say the other part of what DJ says is fake. We can't go off of what Gene Deal is saying because Gene Deal has said a lot of shit that wasn't even real. So we can't go off of nothing this motherfucker says unless the person that it's about says it's real. Puffy ain't never say he knew Gene Deal as a kid. He ain't never say that.
So Puffy grew up on a good block. He ain't grew up in the hood.
We can't say that on the block.
No, I can say that, and I will say that. I'm not taking that back.
What block he grew up on?
A good one. I just told you a good one. Like you refuse it. You're refusing.
No, I'm not refusing.
It's bad blocks. It's good blocks.
No, Sam. What part? How is Harlem? Is it a good part where it's upper echelon, or just part?
Yeah, he said that he didn't live in the hood. That he lived in the outskirts. He lived in the outskirts with his mom. He said that he always knew Puffy his whole life. That he used to always see Puffy around.
Yeah.
Puffy home at home and shit like that.
What street did he live on, or what block?
I don't know what street he lived on. I don't know what street he lived on. I'm telling you that he got them off in a good. He got them off at home. Which was a good neighborhood.
I'm gonna say this, man. I know the man grew up in Harlem. I know some people from Harlem that know him, and they lived in the hood. They ain't that say they grew up with them, and they grew up in the hood. They ain't from no motherfucking. They ain't from no suburb part of the Harlem.
They met him. I'm in a lot of people that lived in the outskirts.
If I lived in the rough side, if I lived across the street from the projects, right, and I said, yo, listen, man, I grew up with Puffy. We lived in the same neighborhood on the same block or whatever the case may be. So that's a good neighborhood. I lived across the street from the
Look at.
I didn't live in the projects.
There's a neighborhood, right? And there's a neighborhood that's outskirts of the neighborhood. That's outskirts and shit like that.
We know that, man. I live in New York. I know that.
All right, then. So you living on a good block. It's a good block. It's nothing like it's all right. You can live in a good block. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Bro, listen.
Puffy mom had a shit together, bro.
If you hung, listen. Okay, let's say
he comes from a good home, bro. I don't know what.
We're not saying that you don't come from a good home.
No, he comes from a nice home. He comes from a nice uplifted home, He don't come from no
grandparents owned. My great grandmother bought a brownstone in 1960 something, right? And then she bought another brownstone on Clarkson Avenue in 1970 something or 60 something too, or whatever. My mother and my uncles and my aunts and all of them, they grew up in a great home. My grandmother, my mother, my grandfather, everybody. My grandfather's side, bro, that's my mother's father's side. So my grandfather, my mother, my uncles, my aunts.
I ain't say Diddy's mom. I ain't talking about Diddy's mom. I'm not talking about Diddy's mom growing up in the home. I said Diddy grew up in a good house. Not nigga. I said Diddy Stop it, Kev. Stop it. Just relax.
No,
I said,
I'm
Diddy
trying to
broke
give you
the
a
rule.
scenario. I'm giving you
know.
a scenario of how it goes. That was my grandparents took care of them, did my mother and them great, but they still lived in the hood. They lived in the brownstone on Clarkson Avenue
Yeah.
in Brooklyn, New York. And there was all kind of shit going around. On Gates Avenue, 3 blocks up, there was a dope, Hatchet had a fucking crack spot, coke spot, making fucking $15,000 a day. So
All right.
that was up
I
the block.
understand, but Diddy's in a
But down
sorority.
the block, it looked good.
Diddy's over here doing good shit. He's in a sorority. He always been good. He always been doing good in school. He always been straight. His mom had a home. He lived in a home with his mom alone. You know what I'm saying? That's their little bond. She raised him well. He always had money. He was uplifted. He was in a sorority. Top thing of the sorority. He led the sorority. He don't got time for no shit. When he got out of college, that's when they said he started to fuck with the music and he started fucking with Big Daddy Kane. Obviously, they in the hood. Everybody's in the hood now, so he want to fuck with all these rappers. And he's infatuated with these rappers.
They said he was taking pussy in college, so how wasn't he in criminal activity? I didn't want to go back.
I said sorority.
I'm telling you this. They said that he had allegations.
A sorority is like a frat. He was a leader of a frat.
They saying there's allegations against him that he took some pussy in college. So how good was he if that's the case? Bro?
He went to college with Marlon Wayans. You know what I'm saying? He went to college with, you know what I'm saying? He went to college with certain people. No, you said he
started his criminal activity after that.
I say he went to a sorority. I say he
was taking pussy in college.
I don't know nothing about that. That's different. That's
they saying
that's
that.
not
they
hood
saying
shit.
that.
That's not hood shit. That's not criminal activity. That's different shit. That's not good. You don't get.
What ain't criminal activity? If you
I said that's criminal activity. That's criminal activity, but that's not hood shit. You're saying that he was in the hood. That's criminal activity, but that's not.
I'm saying living in the hood. Like that don't mean he took on the responses of the hood.
But him taking pussy in college got to do with you say that he grew up in the hood with the hood niggas.
Listen. If I grew up 2 blocks, I just gave you a scenario. If I grew up 2 blocks from where it's rough at, that block I live on,
I understand. I understand what you're saying.
People that go to work every day, they own houses, whatever the case may be. But the criminal activity is 2 blocks away. So where did you grow up at?
He grew up in his own atmosphere, Dundada. Like you could be in the same household. My cousin's in the same household, Dundada. He became a fucking a college professor. This nigga's in the same household. He became a cop. Niggas in the same household. He became a drug dealer. Niggas in the same household. He became something different. Everybody goes, but he's in a bubble. He's in his own bubble. He's not a hood person. He was in Mangala, whatever. He was talking to the. After the fact, he started to want to fuck with the Clyde Davises. So he started fucking with rappers, talent. So he wanted to fuck with talent, and the niggas who fuck with the talent, they fuck with the hood of Dada. So he started to fuck with seeing the Gene Deals and these people and dumb people, and they said that they started to fuck with him. The Dada that he was over.
You understand now, Gail? Do you understand now?
What?
You hear me, Gail?
That was different.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Yo, let's get back to the segment we on, man. We going off the topic.
Yeah. Nah,
let's play this.
It's good. No. Yo. Nah, it's good. We gotta have it. This how niggas create dialogue. We straight. That's how it's supposed to be. You know,
They're gonna report what fits their narrative, right? Because I'm in the courtroom. CNN is in there with me. Newsweek, Fox News. I'm in there with everybody. But I'm coming out. I'm giving a whole nother report than what they saying, and we all in the courtroom together. Court TV, Entertainment Tonight, TMZ. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and the TikTok, like all the pictures are recording.
Stop it right there.
Everything I see.
Yeah,
every day
right there.
He respected Gadget. Like
listen, let me tell you what's wrong with doing that to the public. This is what he's doing. I just showed y'all what he's doing. He's being biased in the case. He's only talking about what the defense team is doing to the witnesses. He's not talking about what the prosecution is having the witnesses present for the defense team to have to come back.
I get you now. I get it.
So now, he just admitted to that.
Yeah.
They're giving a different scene of what I'm giving because you're not giving the whole details of what the fuck is going on. You're talking about what the defense team is doing and not what's really going on within the case. From the prosecutor side, the witness testimony, and the defense team. You're going outside and you're going and you wrote down notes only from a defense team's standard. And you went outside and you put your little camera up and you sit outside and you say, yeah, they eat him up. Yeah, the defense team is eating him up. Sidebar. But he's not giving you what the prosecutor
is doing.
Is presenting and what the witness said that could severely harm Diddy. He's not doing that. He's saying that Diddy's team is automatically winning against every witness that goes on the stand, and that's not true.
Yeah.
So that's why they're not giving the same insight as you, because you're being biased. You are for Diddy, so
he's saying that Diddy's team is actually chewing the witnesses up and spinning them out.
Yes, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying is he didn't give you what the government has presented.
Yeah.
Or
so what they presented, no matter what, the jury's heard it. The jurors heard it. So
right. Yeah, so I'm just saying he's not giving you that. He's telling you that the defense team is eating up the government, which ain't the truth.
I feel what you're saying.
That's all I'm saying. Like people, listen, when you're doing something to make money, right? You don't do it wholeheartedly. You ain't doing it to educate the public. That's not what he's doing. He's doing it to look good enough to gain views that gains and likes that gains revenue for him. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever he feels that he could say that could, or however he makes himself look with delivering the messages from the court, he's going to do that. But being biased about it is what the people who are not studying the case don't see because they're not looking at it. I'm saying that because I'm following it myself. I see what he's doing.
Yeah. Facts. Want to keep going?
Yeah, keep going. Let's keep going because he got a lot of stuff to say here. We all gonna jump on him.
He's cooked.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, more or less. I see what you're saying, but more or less, I feel like he's not the only person saying it, but I understand what you're saying. He's feeling himself. He's just trying to, fit in with the program right now. Now he's saying anything to go with it, whatever the fuck saying.
He's not saying anything. He's saying things, but he's only giving it to you from the
Diddy's point of view.
Right. Like, he's not giving you the whole case.
Yeah, he fucks with Diddy's team. He's
not giving you the whole case as a whole. He's not telling you what the prosecution is presenting.
Look at it. He probably a fan of this type of shit, because you said like he's a white collar dude, so he probably watched fucking cases and shit like that. So he's actually a fan of Diddy's team. You know what I'm saying?
He might be in the right lane. He might be in the right lane.
Listen, he's a fan of Diddy. We ain't going off of that shit, man. Listen, when he first came on here, the first thing he said is, "Yo, man, I thought they was gonna put Cassie up there to bury him, man." And then, but he looking, from what we got from Mrs., she's the one that initiated the freak offs, and she's the one that was paying so and so this and doing this.
Bad idea. Straight bad idea
now,
to say that one.
Cassie wasn't put here to actually found him guilty for what she's saying. Cassie was put here so someone else can put forth the literature that goes along with painting him guilty. Cassie was here to tell the truth. Yes, we did freak offs. Yes, he's a freaky motherfucker. He like people to come on his nipples, and yes, he's this, he's that.
And in reality, you're not saying that Diddy's guilty. In reality, you're not saying that Diddy could lose. You're not saying that Diddy could lose. Like that's what you're not saying that You're not saying that Diddy's lose. Like you don't automatically paint Diddy as guilty.
I want to say something about a trial of this magnitude.
Yeah.
If Diddy is only found guilty for the drugs they found and the gun they found, he won this case. Now, if he gets found guilty for RICO and sex trafficking and all that shit, he lost this case. He's gonna get more than 30 years.
That's what he asking me. That's what he's saying. You think that's what he's
saying that that Diddy is winning, and that happens, that he only get charge of the guns and things. Do you see that? Do you feel like Sean G was saying some shit that maybe was right, or what would you?
Sean G's saying that he's gonna win outright. He's not saying that he's gonna lose at all. He's saying he's gonna walk away and go home.
Yeah,
that's how you know when somebody don't know the federal law, because there's no way he's walking away and going home with them finding criminal aspects in his house. In his bedroom closet, they found guns and bullets and fucking drugs, and you're not going home.
Yeah.
So now a win for, why you think they offered him a plea? Because they know they got him.
Right.
But they tried to set him up with the kind of plea that they asked him to take. Listen, if you plead guilty to this indictment, you're pleading guilty to everything.
Right.
Cassie was on the stand.
Right.
Cassie said he did this. Cassie's like, and I'm listening to it, and it's like, it's a minute and a half of just Cassie, just and not just Cassie, but the other witnesses also. Today so and so came in. He said this. He said this. He said she said this. He said, and I'm thinking it's all just against him. But you on social media, you don't hear the other side. The problem is the jury does. And here's what happens is that ultimately, if the jury says he's innocent or, finds him not guilty, then people will go nuts. How could you have done it? Because I sat in the jury box and I heard all the evidence. I didn't get my news from a fucking TikTok.
Thank you.
So sorry, go ahead.
Now, your views, if you get on the Diddy tip, the Diddy going down tip on YouTube, Instagram Shorts, TikTok, I'm assuming
it's huge.
Your numbers are gonna blow up.
Right.
But if you on the tip, like, man, Puff got a chance, or you are poking holes in the prosecutions, your numbers is not going to be as strong.
Nobody wants to hear that Santa Claus doesn't exist.
This nigga, that's different right there, DG. That's different.
I'm gonna tell it like it is, man. I'm in the courtroom, man. I'm there. It's 3 courtrooms. Puffy and them up on the 26th floor. They got an overflow on the 23rd floor and an overflow on the 24th floor. But in the overflow courtrooms, they have these big LED TVs, and they got all of the PCs with the proceedings live, where you can see the witness on the witness stand, and you can see Puffy and the prosecution and his whole team. So I'm in there taking real notes, man. I'm on sneakers, boots on the ground, man.
What is she saying? Like, here's the thing.
She who?
Cassie. So here's the thing is, I mean, you ever heard that the saying, like, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them, and it's like when you hear these text messages, or when people text, you know what I'm saying? How many times have you seen something on TikTok or something where they're like, your concern is, you're here, like a guy walks in and he looks down and sees a file that has his Instagram name on it, and he goes into HR and looks down and sees his Instagram name on it, and he thinks, oh my God, like, what have I been posting with? Or your girl gets it and looks at the group chat between you and 4 of your buddies. It's like, oh Jesus, the stuff that we say to each other. But that's who you are. You know what I'm saying? That's your real raw feeling. And when a man and woman are talking to each other in text messages or like when nobody's around, like, that's your real thoughts. Like, what are her text messages? What are their? It is just, I love you, and it's just back and forth. Do they ever talk about any of the
This is like a romance little thing, like, this is a crazy ass, like, this is a little romance situation. Well, it gets more to it, I guess, more than a romance situation. But you know what I'm saying? Party and romance, like, you know what I'm saying? I guess that's what he's saying. Romance situation, party and texting. You know what I'm saying? Bunch of, like, what, I don't even know what he's talking about, like, this
sexual things that they're engaging in, or is she? I
No question.
I don't feel comfortable with what you asked me to do last night? Is there anything negative like that?
No.
Because based on social media, that's what I would think. She would be like, I can't believe you forced me to do that. I would never do it. Please don't ever ask me to do it. That's how social media makes it sound.
That's the way the media made it sound prior to. I didn't see none of that. And no one in the courtroom who was there with boots on the ground saw none of that. Let me say this, man. Let me just go ahead and qualify, man, that, I heard a lot of things about Puff, right? Puff is a drug addict. Cassie testified to that on the stand, said they use drugs every day for 11 years. Puffy may have jerked people in the music industry. He may have jerked people for their masters. He may be an unscrupulous businessman, right? He may be a sexual deviant. He's guilty of domestic violence. He beats women. He may be guilty of assault. You understand? So I don't want people that watch your show to think like,
you're saying,
I don't,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, you're not idolizing this guy.
Nah. My man is not, he's got his own issues, but a RICO case, I don't see it. But to answer your question, Cassie was a willing participant in a lot of the freak-offs, right? And a freak-off was nothing more than Cassie, Puffy, and a man.
Like, all we keep hearing is Cassie's name, Gigi. Like, did Cassie make this case?
Listen,
Like, it's all about
Cassie is the
Cassie.
star witness of the case. Listen to what I'm saying. Cassie is the star witness of the case, yes, bro. But what I'm saying to you is, they didn't put Cassie up there to paint him guilty. They put Cassie up there to show all of the illegal shit or all of the disturbing shit that he was doing with her. Now, if another woman, which they got up there and said he kidnapped them and all that shit, get up there and say that some of the things that Cassie's saying, as far as having sex and he hiring escorts and doing all of these things and having people go get people, and she's naming bodyguards and all of this shit, and other women have named bodyguards and put them involved with things. That's what I meant about saying that the people work for the enterprise, and then he had them doing criminal activity. That's called a RICO if it's done for more than 1 year and 1 day. And this guy here is not telling you those factors. He's just saying that I don't see this and I don't see that. A RICO don't start with an enterprise from the day you open it. It ain't like the mob shit. The way the mob was doing it, yes, it's a RICO, but they whole life was criminality. That ain't how a RICO don't have to start that way. It can start within your business. You creating it by adding criminal activity to your workers, whatever you become personal people with them, you're adding them in your criminal activity now, and it becomes a RICO because they work for your company. They were hired as workers. They weren't hired as, we didn't start criminal activity from the beginning. That's not what it was about.
Yeah.
But this is not what they're doing, man. They're doing other things, man. Well, let's listen to some more. Wait. Before you turn it back on. Remember, he said he's not idolizing Puff. Let's remember he said that now. He said he's not idolizing them. He's not doing none of that.
With the whole case, just because you know what I'm saying, you got a mom, you got, you know what I'm saying, you got females in your life. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about the whole case? Do you fuck with Diddy, or you just like, I don't fuck with him, but the case is the case and this is what's going on?
That's how I like, listen.
Personally. Like
personally, I ain't fucking with Diddy. The case is the case, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this. I've seen worse. How I grew up. I've seen worse, man. I've seen worse shit than that.
Yeah.
Than what's going on there. I've seen motherfuckers in the hood fucking little girls because they big time drug dealers and they got Benzes and they got Acura Legends and all that shit. They fucking girls that's 14. These niggas is 22 years old. So basically, they was doing the same similar things that Diddy was doing without the drugs.
You saying that's a regular thing? That's a regular thing back in the day, though.
Bruh, listen to me. That shit goes on today, nigga. In any hood where there's a nigga who getting a lot of money and there's a girl whose parents don't have much, she ain't got shit, she looking for something, that nigga gonna take care of her. He gonna buy all the new shit that's out. He gonna buy the earrings. He gonna buy the clothes. He gonna buy the boots. He gonna buy... She could be 15 years old. He could be 35.
James got a question. Behavior is learned. Do you think Puffy, so this type of behavior involving his parents?
I mean, I can't really say nothing about his parents because I don't know nothing about them. You're right, and behavior is learned, but you can learn it outside of your home too. You can learn it from the individuals that you became dealing with once you became a star. You know what I'm saying? He became once he was dealing with Clive Davis and all these motherfuckers. He could have got it from them because that's who made him who he is today by buying his ideas. So and he learned ideas from them, and those people were already doing certain things before he was even born. So you know, you let's understand that part. It didn't have to come from his parents, James. It could have came from the people he met along the way in the industry, and as he climbed the mountain, he learned more and more and more.
Yeah, it could have been anybody he looked up to. That's true fact. Shit could have been at school. He could have went to school and fucking found
right. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to learn that from his parents. He became, with his ideas, he went and showed his ideas to some people that was already in this kind of shit.
Yeah.
So he gave him what, 24 million the first time.
Right.
And then the second time when he showed him what he could do with 24 million, he gave him 68 million the second time. And then on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? Now he's owning this, and he got Bad Boy, and now he got this, he got Sean John, now he got
just because
Diageo, and
Cav, just because you've seen worse, does it make it okay?
No, that's what I said. It doesn't make it okay. But I also implemented that because if we from the hood, we've seen worse than that. So I'm saying it doesn't make it okay. He's totally wrong for what he, whatever he did, whatever is physical evidence about the allegations, and whatever we saw on camera with him kicking that girl upside the head and all that shit, that's wrong, man. We saw that. We saw him.
But I understand when I look at shit like that, I understand that leads into different type of trauma because boom, my sister's godbrother actually lost his life because he was a Golden Glove in New York, and fucking he seen two couples fighting, and the man was beating his girl up, fucking her up in the street, this nigga jumped in it. He fucking fought the nigga, and the nigga stabbed him. He stabbed him. He died. He ran right to the block and died. So it lead like I see that it leads to that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's that. So we gotta. You know what I'm saying? We gotta understand that it starts from right there, but it could always lead to something else.
Definitely. You ain't lying.
It gets worse from that. All right.
Definitely.
Male escort, 3 people. Right, and
that's what they're referring. That's
a freak off.
That's basically the definition at this point. It's not 6 guys and
in this big house,
2 women.
James says his sister says that he's been abused for a long time. He's been abused for a long time.
He's been abusive for a long time. Meaning that he's been beating up women for a long time.
Yeah.
Or beating up people, however we want to put it.
Abusive to who though? Towards everybody? And if towards her?
Abusive towards women. If another woman says that, that's what she means.
Room and these white parties, none of that, man.
There's nobody's chained to the bed.
No, man.
Disappointing.
And there are text messages where she is texting him, initiating freak offs. Like, baby, I love you. I was, Puff would say, I was thinking about an FO. And she was like, man, I was just getting ready to text you and tell you I'm thinking the same thing. Let me call so-and-so, the male escort, and let me get everything set up. And Cassie heats up the baby oil, and she pours the baby oil in the little baby pool. They both
There's a baby pool?
They both was into that, man.
Right. And she's the one who's orchestrating it.
You asked me, was she on the tip? Like, I don't want to do this. You making me, you're forcing me. It wasn't none of that. She was with it.
Right.
You understand?
I'm on YouTube, Dada.
Is she on like payroll? Like she's getting a check every month?
That's his lady, man.
Right.
That's his lady. He had like 6, 7 girlfriends, man. They named them all.
And they're all getting a check every month, like paying their rent, or they don't bring that up?
I don't know about the mother girls, but and he was supposedly knocking down his babysitter too. But Cassie He loved Cassie, man. And Cassie loved him.
It seems like
100%, man. 100%. The text messages show it. It shocked me. I'm sitting in the courtroom like, and she's on the stand. And out of all the witnesses, man.
He said, yeah, Kev, you're right. That towards woman that she had an interview a minute ago.
All right.
She's the only one that I've seen that didn't tell not one lie. She didn't get busted in no lie on the cross. She just had one date mixed up. Whether something occurred in September or October, she wasn't too sure. But she sat up there and told it what it was. And they asked her, did you love Puffy? She said, yeah.
Stop it right here. Stop it right here.
And Matt, he asked her, do you still love Puffy?
I wanna say this. You see what he just said? She got up there and she didn't tell not one lie. She didn't tell not one lie. Only thing she did was misconstrue the dates of a certain incident, which was from a month to a month. Now listen, this is why I'm letting people know. She was not there to say he's guilty within the case. She was there. Cassie is put here to show all the negative aspects of what he did, and that there were free calls, and that he did beat me up. He had me doing things this, that, and way, and the next year, and the other. Now, to prove that he's this type of guy, this type of monster, the guilty part comes here. When another woman that he dealt with, that's not his woman, and he did these things to them. That's where all of these charges come from. Cassie's did to let you know, like, this is the type of guy he is. He's done this. Yes, he's going to be charged. They want to charge him for some of the things he's done to Cassie, but it's going to be hard because Cassie was a free, willing participant, and the text messages showed that. But another woman who's not his woman goes up there and says these same things, which they have already, certain parts of it, they've said that already. That's where you find the motherfucker guilty at, of being this predator that they're saying he is.
Yeah.
And that's what these guys don't understand that's on this podcast right here just talking, because they don't understand the statutes of what he's facing. They're just going off of what the witnesses and what the prosecution and what the district attorney, and what the defensive team is presenting. Defensive team is cross-examining witnesses. The prosecution is pushing what the witnesses are saying. So the defensive team looks good.
You see what James is saying? So Cassie was just the foundation or building block to find him guilty.
Say it again, James. Now you understand what I'm saying. Listen, you've never heard of a case where the star witness goes first. Never.
Yeah.
Ever. The reason why she went first is to show that these allegations that they have against him did occur. Freak-offs and having sex and having escorts and traveling from place to place, or having people come in. Even if she admitted that she did it within his annihilment, like he was there also. Even if she paid somebody to come, she paid him with his money, because she already said he controls my life. If I don't do what he say do, he takes all my assets away. He does this, he does that. These are what they're using to paint the picture of what was going on, which were factors. She told the truth, is what everybody's saying. Everybody's saying that. She told the truth. She didn't tell one lie. But she looked like a willing participant. But people ain't looking into that, ain't looking into the science, man. The science behind it is, okay, we know that the fact that she told the truth. He's actually done these things. Now another woman comes from somewhere else and say, look, he did this to me. He kidnapped me. He did this to me. He told me if I don't do this, he's going to do this. He made this person do this. He had these people come and get me from here. He had it. These are all the factors to put on him to lock him up. So what I'm saying.
So since she's told the truth, Dada, like she told the truth, Dada, was she implicated herself in a lot of situations?
She's not prosecuted. So implementing herself don't hurt her. She's not prosecuted. That's why she was able to tell the truth. She's not going to go to jail for what she says. They want to know the truth pertaining to him. They don't care about what she's saying about herself, or rather if she looks good or not. That's why they lie out. That's why those text messages was able to be shown, and it was able to make her look so bad.